Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Monlebotton, and this is A Creative's Conversation. On today's podcast episode, we have Kiara Hill joining us today.
Welcome to the Limelight.
Kiara Hill is a writer, video editor, and digital designer based in Chicago, Illinois. Today, we'll be diving into how she found her style of storytelling, her current self-discovery docuseries on YouTube, and the other ways she's expanded her network through school, TikTok, and events. Thank you for being here. How are you today?
Thank you for having me so much. I'm doing well. How are you?
That's good. I'm glad. I know I asked you how your commute was from here. Where are you coming from, if you could share?
Down south. So
Yes.
it was a little bit, but it wasn't bad at all. It was just
Okay,
a train,
cool.
basically.
Yeah, you just kind of moved back to Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's it been so far?
Oh, I love Chicago. I knew I wanted to be here.
Yeah,
so.
that's good. I'm glad. I guess I kind of wanted to start off the conversation from your background, I guess, like your upbringing. Like I mentioned in the intro, you do a lot of writing and video content. So I guess what got you started in that type of media?
Well, I feel like I've always written kind of forever. I was born in Jackson, Mississippi, and I say Mississippi makes amazing writers.
Yeah.
Just from its history and how deeply rooted we are from the South. And so I just always grew up around storytelling and artists. My grandmother is an artist. She's a painter, a sculptor, a drawer, and so is my aunt. So just creativity.
Yeah.
Just always, or something I always say, like the first picture of me, it wasn't a picture, it was a portrait that my grandmother did. So
That's so cute.
Yeah.
That was nice. So you always had kind of like artistic people around you.
yeah, definitely,
Okay, that's
which
cool.
I'm very grateful
Yeah.
for.
Did any of them do kind of the art that you're doing, like writing, video design, stuff like
Not
that?
professionally.
Okay.
My grandmother does write. She's a phenomenal writer, but she's
Okay.
never just, I guess, published her work yet.
Right,
Hopefully
right.
we might see
Yeah.
something soon. But still, that was okay. I say I just took the artistic gene and just transformed it into how it fit me.
Yeah. And how did that kind of happen? Did you just like stumble upon other artists that you liked, like when you were younger, or how'd you get started in all of
Well,
it?
I just always loved books. So always reading really helped with that. I would just like write like in the margins of my books and things, or like reimagine stories. When I was like 8, I wrote like my grandmother in her house, she had like a shared computer, like all of my cousins, we all used the same computer, and I wrote like an 80-page story on there at 8, and then one of my cousins accidentally deleted it, and it was
No, I would have
was
been
so traumatized. I was crying. My grandmother was like, "Why did you do that?" My cousin, she was like 6 at the time, so she doesn't know what's
Right,
going
right.
on. It was just
No,
chaos.
that's rough.
But that was the start of like, okay, I really felt passionate about
Yeah.
this thing. Where did it go?
Yeah.
And then like, I know, like middle school fanfic and all of that jazz. So
Canon.
Canon,
Yeah, I
then
feel you with
can't
that. Yeah.
interfere. So
Wait, that's
yeah.
cool.
Thank
Okay,
you.
awesome. So you kind of started doing it like for yourself a little bit. How did you start sharing, I guess, your creative pieces with other people?
As always, there's always an English high school teacher
Mm-hmm.
who helps you navigate that. So basically, I did like gymnastics all my life, but I ended up quitting around sophomore year because a bunch of shit just started happening. Oh wait, sorry, I don't know.
No, that's okay. Yeah. You're good.
Okay, because a bunch of stuff just started
Yeah.
happening. And that was low-key like an identity crisis, because it's
Okay.
like I was a gymnast all my life. That's what I was known as. I was competing competitively. I was training, like I was in an elite training facility being recruited for
Okay.
college. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
So when I lost that, it was like, who am I? Like, what do I do
Yeah.
now? And I just turned to writing again. Like I just guess I went back to my roots. And
Okay.
so I guess what I wrote was pretty good, because my English teacher at the time was like, you need to submit to Scholastic. You need to do this. Like, see me after class. And she just really poured into my writing. And so I guess that around that time, like age 15, is when I was like, okay, this writing thing, I really like it. That's who I am, a storyteller. And I like submitted to Scholastic and things and was validated in that, because I did win awards. And so that was great. And I got a scholarship to like a poetry
Wow,
camp.
yeah.
And all these things. So I was like, okay, maybe there's something
Yeah.
here. And so since then, I've just been a storyteller. But in college, my major was actually film. But all the basis is like writing and storytelling. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to do primarily writing in film or other things within film?
Other things. I started film because when I told my mom I wanted to go to college for creative writing, she was like, no.
Yeah. Also canon event. Yeah.
No, but she said, you know what? Pitch it to me. She was like,
Okay.
make a PowerPoint, pitch it to me. If you can tell me how
I
you're
love
going to
that.
make money writing,
Yeah.
by all means, spread your wings and fly. And so, of course, I ended up doing like research for my
Yeah.
presentation to my mother. And I was like, I could be a film major and I can write for film. And she was like, you know what? TT. And I like that idea.
Yeah, that's so
And
cute.
so she said, boom, film major. I'm about it.
Dang.
And so
okay.
that's how I ended up being a film major. but with the major, I went to Northwestern. When
Yeah.
your freshman year requirements are to basically do everything. So you do writing, you do production, you're on sets, you do editing, post, like everything.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy, but I'm glad they do it because it gets you to like dabble in everything.
Yeah.
And then you can like choose what you don't want to do going forward.
Yeah.
And so doing that, I actually found out I really love editing.
Yeah.
I took an editing class and I was like, wait, this is actually really fun. I'm piecing things together. I'm talking to the director, figuring out what shots they want. Like one of my favorite triumphs was I literally ended up like flipping a page of the script because we were like, this isn't flowing correctly. But when I took those scenes and moved it around, it did exactly what we wanted. And I was like, this feels like magic.
Yeah.
Like this is so cool.
Yeah.
And so since then, I've been heavily diving into editing, animation, and motion graphics. Those are like my favorite things to do. So I still write, but I love editing as well. So just kind of doing both.
That makes sense. I mean, I feel like editing, especially video editing, is another form of storytelling.
Yes.
So I feel like that makes sense how that translates. And I also wanted to kind of get into all of the different mediums you partake in. And you kind of went into a little bit with motion graphics and animation. So how do you feel like, I guess, your skills from writing, especially growing up with that, how that has, I guess, translated into the new art that you're practicing now?
One of my mentors, actually, because I was talking to him about it, and I was like, I don't know why I like editing so much. He was like, honestly, I feel like editors are the last writers because you were the last ones to piece the story together for what you want the audience to see. And so when he said that, I felt like that really resonated because it feels like, okay, I'm just bringing like my writing practice into a different form. So I think it just all is about storytelling and piecing together the story in the way, you know, like the director is envisioning it to be told. And that goes into like my animation and motion graphics because to me, it's all editing. It's all just adding pizzazz at the end. Like I said, it feels like magic. So seeing how the different elements you place on a story really help it come to life.
Yeah.
I love it. Like editing takes 1,000,001 years. But when you see the final product, you're like, teeth. Like, yeah.
I feel like all of the mediums that you have, or at least from what I've seen, take a lot of time. Yeah. And so I don't know how you found the time to do all of that, but it's great. No, that's valid. What did you do specifically, I guess, at Northwestern with film and also animation and stuff? Were there a lot of opportunities you felt like?
Well, kind of. Unfortunately, when I was a senior is when they put an animation minor.
Oh, okay. It always works out like that.
It was a game design and animation minor, and I was like, yo, and I'm a senior. I see how it is. I'm leaving this place. But like I said, with you, so freshman year you take like the foundations of everything, and then what I like about Northwestern, it is on a quarter system, which sucks. Which is not semesters. Instead of 2 semesters, you have 4 quarters. Insane.
Oh yeah.
It's
No, those are crazy to me.
It's terrible, but the good thing about it is you can take so much because you're fitting in so much in your time. And so because of that, I was able to take like a heck ton of classes and just dabble. So I took like 2D animation classes. I took motion graphics. I even took game design.
Yeah.
And virtual reality installments. And I loved it all. And that's when I was like, okay, I like this area. I feel like I say it's like play to me. I like playing. And so,
no, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. So I'm like, I love being experimental, playing like merging media.
Okay, cool.
So I was like, so I would always take elements of what I would do. And I guess my writing kind of still surfaced because in one of my classes where I showed one of the pieces I created, one of my fellow classmates was like, this felt like poetry, even though it was a film. And I was like, you know what? I was like, you about to make me cry.
Right.
Like, that's beautiful. So I just think everything still comes together.
Yeah.
It all is very time consuming.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like that. And the more you do it, the more I follow like a pattern.
Yeah,
like,
that makes
I have my
sense.
personal, like, my presets and things like that to help it flow faster.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does take time, but that's okay because it turns out really well.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's an investment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's an investment.
What is your, I guess, like creative process like when you're starting a project? How do you come up with the idea? I guess, do you have inspirations that you or things that you do to get inspiration? And then how do you figure out what that medium will be for whatever you wrote?
Yeah, well, as like a hobby, I guess, I also do like social media, like I'm on TikTok and things, as you guys know. And I think because of that, I'm always thinking of ideas. Like everything to me, unfortunately, is like content.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, though.
No, I
It's
get
like,
that, yeah.
It's like, oh, like this could be a video, this could be a video. So I'm
That's
very
cool.
grateful that like whenever I'm looking around, I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
yes, you know what I'm saying? But I do draw inspiration from a lot of creators that I like and I admire. I'm constantly watching like channels that I think are cool, or even like I'll watch movies and I know good and well I don't have the software to do like everything they're doing, but I'm inquisitive. I'm like, how did you do that? And so then I'll try to recreate it with the limited resources I have to see like how close I can get. So just being open to like playing around, knowing that like I might not get it perfect, but at least I'm
Yeah.
seeing what will happen. So yeah, I guess that's my creative process, just trying random things.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do have a script, like if like for my YouTube channel, for example, if I'm like, I want to talk about an event I went to, right? Then I'm like, okay, I want to talk about an event. How can I make this like, you know, people want to watch it. It's not just boring. You're just going with me an event. So then I will write a script like, okay, introduction. Hi guys,
Yeah.
we're going here today.
Cool.
And then like I want this graphic here and this graphic here. So yeah, I guess it all just depends on what I want to do, but a lot of the times it's just like on the spot creativity, like walking around and being inspired by something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this could be a video. I always have like in my bag, I literally have my notebook with me. I always have a notebook with me so I can always jot down when anything comes up in my head.
Yeah, that's nice that you have like kind of the creative liberty that you can kind of just decide all of that.
Yeah.
And you
so
mentioned your YouTube channel, which I wanted to get into since you have like a docu-series. If you want to listen to this full episode and hear a little bit more about Kiara's YouTube docu-series and series on TikTok, head to our Spotify at the Limelight, and you can listen to the full thing there. Thank you, Kiara, for being on the Limelight podcast. Please tell people where they can find you.
You can find me on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at key.23. That's KI.TWENTY and the number 3.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you at the next one.
Yeah.